All right, welcome everyone. It is West Coast Pop, and we are here for the WWE Draft of 2023. Where will everyone go? Where will they wind up? That is what we are here to find out. There's a lot going on. We have a new title. The World Heavyweight Championship will be crowned at Night of Champions on Saturday, May 27th. That means a show is getting a brand new champion, and Roman Reigns is going to hold on to the other two championships on another show. So we'll draft everybody that we can. We have the full roster up here. They're either going to NXT, they're going to the Performance Center, and we're going to shuffle Raw and SmackDown. And you know what? Some people are just going to get let go too. Why? Let's just have some fun with it. That's why. So we have the new belt. Finn looked at it. Seth is a front runner for it. People are saying Cody. I do not believe Cody should get this belt. This is the consolation prize for Cody. But let's get into it. This is the draft of 2023. We are going to go through the entire roster. So leave comments and let us know where you think everyone should go. Again, my name is Zach, and we'll see if anyone else jumps on in here. Hit the chat up. I want your comments all stream long, and let me pull it up here. We're going to do this in the fashion of a tier list. So let's hit it up. Here we go. This is the tier list. I'll put my pretty face on the bottom right there. Let me know if you can hear me out there, and I can just kind of check right here really quick. Let's have some fun here. Let's go through the tier list and figure out where everyone is going to go for the draft. All right. Let's start off with the champ. Roman Reigns, there he is at the bottom, holding two belts. I firmly believe that he is going to be on SmackDown with those two belts. He's very familiar to the SmackDown crowd. The SmackDown crowd has the built-in Fox audience. It doesn't need cable. I do believe he's going to be on SmackDown and keep drawing and get over 2 million views. But let me know what you think about where Roman Reigns is going to go. I just really believe that the new belt is made for Monday Night Raw. You get 3 hours to build someone up and a tournament if you need that to go to Jeddah and crown a new champion. But I do believe all champions will stay. That means Bianca Belair will remain on Monday Night Raw. Let's find the other women's champion here, Rhea Ripley. It's alphabetical, and I'm still having trouble. That's how good I am. All right, Rhea Ripley will remain on SmackDown with Roman. The tag champs, I do believe, will just be wherever. But NXT-wise, Indy almost lost the title on Tuesday because of her injury. I think she'll remain there. The tag championships are just like so up in the air for me. But I do believe Wes Lee will remain on NXT. I think he can be someone who can get called up later on. He still has a little bit to go. And what other champions do we have here? Mello is money. He is not leaving NXT. I honestly thought he could have been, but now that he has the belt, I think he's going to stick around NXT for a little bit longer. And the NXT champs, the tag champs, since we do have women's tag champs on the main roster, I do believe they will stay as well. There we go. We got our champs in NXT sticking around. And now we can get down to it and figure out who's going to get called up and who's going to go where. Let's go with Bronson Reed right here. I do believe Bronson Reed was just introduced on Monday Night Raw, so I think he's going to stick around there for the long haul. Because you don't just introduce someone and then flip-flop them onto another show. So I do believe Bronson Reed will stick around there. I do believe AJ Styles will stick around on Raw as well. I think in the past he didn't want to be away from his kids' baseball games on Friday nights, I do believe. So I think he's going to remain on Monday nights. He is out right now, and I think the draft is a great spot to bring him back. And that means I think the Good Brothers are staying there as well. I will try my best to find. Well, there's one of them. Anderson is under the seas, apparently. Well, Carl Anderson is somewhere. Let me know if you see him. I do believe, is going to Monday Night Raw as well. He's going to stick around there with AJ Styles. I do believe Gigi Dolan. I do believe she's going to stick around NXT, and so is JC Jane. I don't see either one of them finishing up their feud anytime soon. They could finish it up at the next NXT pay-per-view or whatever it is, but I think that they are going to be sticking around NXT for a little bit longer to build some solo character stuff without Mandy Rose. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, let's try to get some fun music going on in here. Let me know what you think of the draft and where you think everyone's going to go here as I just try to pick out some music. Dance pop, that's what we're checking out. All right. Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is kind of a tricky one. He's built a good following on Raw, but I could see him doing more on SmackDown, especially if he's going to be someone who's going to go after a main title. But that's why I do think he's going to stick around on Monday Night Raw. I do think he's going to be one of the contenders for that new title after the draft. And speaking of, just as, in my opinion, a MacGuffin, I don't think he should win the new title, the World Heavyweight title, because it will be a consolation prize. I do believe Cody Rhodes is going to stay on Monday Night Raw. That is going to be one of the flag bearers since you have Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Cody will stick around on Monday Night Raw and help that brand out. Omos, I do believe, is going to SmackDown. He's kind of done everything on Raw. He's kind of done everything in WWE personally. But Omos, I think, is going to be that size thing that gets a general audience in there. He was built around Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania, and that was the draw. It got interesting for some talk shows that he was on and when he was a guest on them. So I think it can be more of a draw for Fox to have a big guy like Omos on there. We'll get back to Gunther. That's a tough one. Imperium in general. All right, let's get to Gable Steveson. I'm gonna say release him, let him do his wrestling stuff, cut him from the budget. That's my take on there. But I do believe his brother Kemp is going to remain in NXT. I think he's a really good heel. I just think he needs a little bit more in-ring work until he's fully ready. Actually, you know what? We're going with SmackDown. I'm going to put him on SmackDown because I like a new built group. I just want to see a little refresh on the Alpha Academy. So let's go with Otis. Oh, yeah. He's going to be part of the Alpha Academy still, and so is Chad Gable. There he is, 0% body fat, right there next to another wrestler. That is going to be the new Alpha Academy. Oh, no, but wait. I do believe Diamond Mine is splitting up, and they are going to join as well. I think this is going to be a nice big faction, and you know what? We've talked about it on the show before, especially on the Rampage streams. Get Kurt Angle involved. Right there is your new Alpha Academy. And you know what? Just because I love the guy, if you cannot get Kurt Angle weekly, here's your guy, Shelton Benjamin. That is going to be your leader with Chad Gable, and it's just going to be a powerhouse stable. It's going to be the wrestlers stable, if you will, Daddy, right there. That's what I'm calling. No, almost you're not part of that. The wrestling stable right there. Tino's Time, how are you? Glad you can make the stream. Check out Tino's Time. He live streams a lot of great stuff. So Tino's Time, he does even football. So that's how big Tino's Time streams are. Thanks for joining. And I'm sure you can stream SmackDown with him tomorrow night with the draft and figure out who is actually going where. But tomorrow afternoon, we got the live Rampage stream. So check it out. All right, Apollo Crews. Apollo, I do believe he has some more business to take care of in NXT. He'll be someone who's been brought up later on, I do believe. Axiom, I think, is going to stick around NXT as well. He's got more to prove, too, and he's building quite a fan base on there. And speaking of, it is the dark night of wrestling. They better have him on here. I did not put this tier list together. If he's not on here, I'm just going to be so irate. Oh my God, he's not on here. He is not on here. This is a crime. This is a travesty. There is no scripts. There is no scripts on this tier list. Unbelievable. Unthinkable. There's not even a Reggie on here. Reggie, scripts, the new Dark Knight, the new Gargoyles package is, I think, going to stay on NXT as well. Some of these people I'm not going to touch. Brock Lesnar, he's just going to flip-flop in between wherever they need him. All right, here's another one I have for NXT. Build her up. Build her up in NXT. Get her back. Dana Brooke can come back. I do believe it. She can. Charlotte Flair, I think, is going to stay on SmackDown. She is really a big draw. She's the Flair name, and I think that's what Fox wants. Raw, you can do more of a wrestler's kind of deal. Aaliyah, I think she is going to go to Raw. I think it's, she spent 50 years on the NXT roster. She was on SmackDown. Let's get her on Raw. You can get her some more screen time unless Vince cuts the scripts like he did. Scripts again. Oh, my heart breaks without scripts. Bailey. You know what? It's just time. I think it's time to break up Damage Control. I think they're going to remain on Raw, though. I think all of Damage Control is going to remain on Raw so they can do this storyline. It'll be months and probably lead up to something that's SummerSlam. But I do believe that's what's going to happen, and then they'll get shuffled around later on. But Damage Control, I do believe, is going to finish up the storyline on Monday Night Raw. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm kind of good on Damage Control. Grayson Waller, the Grayson Waller effect. Monday Night Raw. I think he's going to get drafted to Monday Night Raw. And you know what? You keep this person away from him for over a year because you build it up. And this is going to be maybe their first WrestleMania match, Grayson Waller's. Where is he? Where are you? Where is The Miz? That is my next pick. He's going to get drafted to SmackDown. Is The Miz not on here either? Again, I did not put this together. I do not see The Miz, but I do believe The Miz is going to SmackDown. And I keep these two apart. And then have Grayson Waller and The Miz feud at WrestleMania. All right, Chase U, he sent a cryptic message to the NXT crowd that after he lost. I think it's time. Call him up. Call him up as well. Chase University, get the University section going in Monday Night Raw. I think you can do it. And I don't see Thea Hale on here. But Thea Hale, I do believe, is going to go with... Oh, there's The Miz. There's The Miz right next to Thea Hale. All right, perfect. Miz on SmackDown. Thea Hale joining Chase U. You can't really build a university. Well, I guess they did in NXT. Without some people on there. And there's your cheerleader right there. And there's Anderson. Where's Waldo and everyone? Get over by your Good Brothers, buddy. Good Brothers remaining on Monday Night Raw, and that leads me to a shakeup. She is already the SmackDown Women's Champion. She is already on there. I do believe Judgment Day is heading over to SmackDown. I just think it's right. They've done their stuff on Monday Night Raw. They can feud with the Bloodline later on if they want, because we had that interaction on Monday Night Raw recently. But I think it's time for Judgment Day to be on Fox. Where's Dom? There he is. Because isn't Ray still on SmackDown? Then you can build up to a retirement match down the line with Dom and Ray. LWO to Raw. Let's make it happen. Noob says so. I'll leave that up. LWO to Monday Night Raw, if I can find them. Santos. I think would be good. They are top merchandise sellers, so if you have any LWO merchandise, let me know. That's big on the merch scene in WWE right now. We're just looking for one more LWO member. I think they can do more. I think they can have more segments, and I think they can even grow a little bit. All right, I'm missing an LWO member, but that's fine. There he is. Noob said it. It's happening. LWO to Monday Night Raw. Angel Garza. Angel Garza, let's bring him back down to NXT. He got taken up pretty quickly, I have to say. You can bring him up, and you don't even need to do both Los Lotharios, but I think it's almost better if you do, just so you have an actual tag team in NXT, because if we're bringing Diamond Mine up, I think it's only fair to add another tag team. We'll find the other Lotharios later. But Seth Rollins, I do think Seth Rollins is going to remain on Monday Night Raw. I think he's going to be one of the biggest stars on Monday Night Raw because he's going to be, in my opinion, the one to take the belt off Roman Reigns. And you know, they love couples, so pow. Big time Beck still remaining. Corbin. I think it's time. Corbin. You're fired. Sorry, it just has to be done. Akira Tozawa, I think he's going to be on Monday Night Raw. They have been using him. I do think he's a good person to put in random matches, which you need a lot to fill 3 hours. So I think he will stick around. Mr. All Power, thanks for joining. It is me. And we got a comment from Noob. I've heard of a lot of people complaining about Asuka not going to get drafted on SmackDown. She's just going to be lost in the shuffle and have her face new opponents and new storylines. I don't know where she's going to go. Let's just put her on SmackDown because I think it's a spectacle. And if she is on SmackDown and not lost in the shuffle on Raw, I think that's going to be what Fox wants. And if Fox sees something they like, they're going to want more of it. So Asuka in front of a more... It's a bigger crowd to sell things. I think that's why they kind of wanted the LWO and Ray on SmackDown because you get over 1 million viewers than you do on Monday Night Raw. All right. I'm going to call it. The Brawling Brutes are going to be no more. Butch will remain on SmackDown under Pete Dunne. I'm just going to make that claim right there. And I do believe Sheamus, Sheamus, where are you, buddy, is going to Monday Night Raw. Whoever put this together does not understand the alphabet. We'll find Sheamus eventually. Oh, he's up top. That's why. All right. You spell Sheamus with an A. Sheamus is going to go to Monday Night Raw. And I think someone else is coming to Monday Night Raw with him. And that is going to be Imperium. I think they are going to build up Imperium to be big. Ludwig Kaiser. Then you're going to have a little bit of Giovanni. Wherever Giovanni is, there he is, in his wetsuit. Monday Night Raw. You're trading the Judgment Day for Imperium. And then this is the big chase right here. Gunther. I think the IC title is going to flip-flop shows. And this gets Gunther. If the title goes off of Gunther, it allows him to get the new belt, the World Heavyweight Championship, rather than mess up whatever you want to do with Roman Reigns. So that means the US title is coming to SmackDown. Where is our US champion, Austin Theory? Is he under the A's? No. Is he under the T's? No. What other letter could Austin Theory be under? You know what? We'll find him. We'll find Austin Theory. Well, let me just get into this. Shinsuke Nakamura getting repackaged on SmackDown is, in my opinion, going to go over to Monday Night Raw, either to knock Gunther out of the title scene, or again, another chaser to the new World Heavyweight Championship. We need good contenders on Monday Night Raw for the belt. Again, I believe that's where it is staying. Drew Gulak, I think, is going to stick around in NXT. He's working very well right now with this man right here, Dempsey. And since his dad is kind of in NXT, he's kind of floating around doing everything. I think they're going to remain in NXT and stick around. You know who's not going to remain in NXT? I'm sick of it. Get him out of purgatory. Cameron Grimes to SmackDown. Why? Because character work can really help out on SmackDown. Noob. So here's my PSA to the Asuka fandom. Stop taking wrestling seriously. It's a TV show, and you Asuka fans are ruining. Man, let me just say this. When everyone around is doing all this other fun stuff and able to do all these other things that they are able to do with a company like WWE or even AEW, you know, they might still be happy despite them being on TV. R-Truth shows how happy he is all the time, and people complain about what he does on television. So good point, Noob. Let's just enjoy it. All right. Where are we going next? Some of these people I just got to like leave where they are because of titles, but we'll talk about them in a bit here. Karrion Kross, he hasn't really worked on SmackDown. It's time to bring him to Raw with Scarlett. I have reasoning for this, not just because they haven't worked on SmackDown and it's time to put him on a new show. Nick Khan and people have been talking to USA and saying this third hour is late in the evening. It does not need to be PG, and we can do more with it. It is a conversation, not necessarily talking about blood, that they can do more. When you can do more and get out of the PG realm, I think that's where Karrion Kross and Scarlett can really make a difference with their character work. So Monday Night Raw for them. And I had someone in mind, but all right. Let's throw Ricochet still on SmackDown. I think he's going to remain on SmackDown just because he's working so well on there. He's built quite the audience, and I think throwing him on another show is going to kind of get rid of that audience that he's built. Kind of what I think with Bronson Reed. Keep him there. All right, Ava Raine. The Ava Raine experiment is still going on. Keep her in NXT. I don't even care if she's with the dyad anymore because the dyad is not working for me, not one bit. God, I really cannot get with the dyad. Joe Gacy, I would keep him in NXT and then slowly kill off the dyad. That's just my opinion. It just needs to go. The other two members of the dyad, the Grizzled Young Veterans, I'm not even going to put on here. If I can find them, I'll just put them in release because they have asked for their release. And that's another reason why the dyad just needs to go, and Ava Raine can kind of do some stuff on her own. Yeah, not even sure what the dyad is on here. All right. Drew McIntyre. He's currently injured. I don't know if he's going to get drafted. He must, though, because he's a big name. I think he's going to be another one who's going to go to Monday Night Raw just because we need more people for that title chase for the World Heavyweight Championship. I get kind of bored with Drew. Maybe we just need a heel Drew. Maybe that's it. But I know he is a big merch seller and fan favorite. All right. Odyssey Jones. Keep him in NXT for a bit. We still need some more work with him. We kind of just need to know a little bit more about who he is. And you know what? I know I don't like crossover storytelling, but you can have Duke Hudson stick with Chase U. Because you can have the storyline with him that we all know he's going to turn heel. You can have him be a member of Chase U still. Or did he turn? Did I screw up? Did he turn on NXT? He might have turned. Let me know in the comments. If he turned, that's just out the window. But Duke Hudson can go to one of the main brands anyways. All right, let's try to find some. Let's go with Valkyrie. We'll keep her in NXT. She's just starting out. She's still red hot in there. JD McDonald's. Keep him in NXT for now. I would call him up at the Rumble or beforehand, and then you could start a good feud with him and not Butch. Pete Dunne. Cora Jade, there's rumors of her being brought up. I think it's too soon. I would keep her in NXT for now. I would keep her for another Rumble surprise, and that would be her call-up. There's still little things that she needs to work on. I'm a big fan of Cora Jade, but there's still just a few things that she needs to work on. Maximum male models, why the hell not? Bring them up. They're on Monday Night Raw right now. Let's not swap them. They just got swapped. I think they're working very well. And also, you can pair them with two people that I think are going to get called up because they died on NXT. That's right, they died. Pretty Deadly are going to get called up, and I do believe you can either put them with Seth Rollins, but I do believe you can put them with the male maximum models and do a nice break-off storyline with them. Great tag team, great comedic stuff, and they can be used throughout Monday Night Raw. All right, Elektra Lopez, I think, is going to remain on NXT. She's great, but I think just a little more confidence on the mic, and then I think she's going to be ready for a call-up. Ivy Nile, we still need some more stuff from her. We saw some from her on Tuesday night, but I still think there's a more time left in here. If you want to put them with this group that I have, that's fine. With the Diamond Mine, with Chad Gable, with Damon Kemp, and with Otis. Yes, you can scrap the beef between Diamond Mine and Kemp and just have them form under Chad Gable. Mishin. Mishin's a weird one because she can work anywhere. I am going to just put her on SmackDown. You can repackage her more as Mishin / Mia Yim / the head bitch in charge. I think you can build her up really well on SmackDown, and she can get a good following on there. She's spectacular in the ring. So Carmella, I do believe she will remain on Monday Night Raw. Humberto, send him to the Performance Center. We need more character work from him. He's good in the ring, but he has what some of the AEW talents have that I don't really like, and that's great in the ring, but no real sell. He's part of the Los Lotharios, but it didn't really work for me for some reason. But if you got another place to put him, let me know. R-Truth. I love R-Truth so much. I love R-Truth so much. One of my all-time favorites. NXT. Put him in NXT and build him for one more big run, a good title run, even if it is a mid-card title. I'm fine with that. I just love R-Truth. He can bring the comedy. He can add some flavor, especially if you can be calling some people up and losing part of the personalities that are already in NXT, just like this guy, Braun Breaker. He doesn't need to be in the title scene. That's why I would put him on SmackDown. Kind of a fresh start for him. You can keep him a heel. He's going to be fighting Carmelo at Battlegrounds, I do believe is the next one. So they're still booking people in NXT who I do think are going to get called up. But if you keep him on SmackDown, he's good for the mid-card title. And that's what's needed because not everyone needs to go for Roman right away. Build him up. He's got the Steiner name, which right now I don't know how good that is, but we'll see. But to keep in NXT, Dijak, he's still doing his thing as a 90s supervillain. And Lyons, keeping NXT. I don't want to say send her to the Performance Center, but she's just a little injury prone. So keep her in NXT, have her work out some things in the camera, and then start having her work main event. But I would keep her because we still do need some pretty good draws in there. Just like this one, Sol Ruka, who is recently injured, dealing with something as well. But I would keep her in there as well. And he now has his old name back. Riddick Moss, send him to NXT. But I guess you got to do it because they're together. I hate sending her back down to NXT. But again, she's kind of a vet that can help out the women in NXT learn. All right, these two keep in NXT just because I have no interest in them. They're back together now. Henley's still with them. I keep them a pair, I guess, for now until they figure out what they can do individually. Because with Kiana James, you got to keep her in there too. They're all doing great with the storyline. It was a storyline that was dragged out way too long, so we can't really get any actual matches. And putting the women's title on them is kind of off. But let me know in the comments where you think everyone should go. Again, thank you so much for joining. And they're going to remain in NXT too, based on the fact that they want to become tag team champions. They said it at the very end of NXT. Tony D, Stacks, Is it Stax D'Annunzio? But they're going after the belts, the tag belts there. And the Viking Raiders, I think, work better on SmackDown than on Raw. I think the presentation just works for me on SmackDown. Give them some new challengers to face, because I think on Raw, everything is going to get a little shuffled. And speaking of shuffling, why not shuffle up the bloodline? They are no longer champs. Put the oosiest tag team of all time on Monday Night Raw while you have Roman holding it down on SmackDown. That way you don't have to do Roman and Paul Heyman stuff every single episode. And you keep Solo Sikoa, the right-hand man of the tribal chief, because, again, he's another one who can take out the tribal chief because he's just meant to look indestructible. Also, I got them all wrong. Here we go. Usos, there we go. Also, here's the thing, too. Jay could be a top contender for the main title, too, the World Heavyweight Championship. And then you can start some more friction between Jay and Roman about who really is the head of the table. So that could be a big match later on down the line. Quincy Elliott, Performance Center. I do believe wants to be on TV, kind of ready for TV, but not ready for TV yet. He got booted real quick from that Battle Royal, and we haven't seen him since. That's right, stick him. More work from Quincy. Von Wagner. WWE sees something in him. I do not know what they see in him. It is time, Von Wagner. Time to say goodbye. And you know what? I'm going to be a prick with this. Gallus does absolutely nothing for me. I know they're not going to release Gallus, but get rid of Gallus. They're so boring. I cannot stand Gallus. I'm sorry. I know that they're the tag champs and they're not going to get rid of them, but again, one of the most boring tag teams I've seen in a long time. All right. I know there's another Gallus member somewhere on here, but we'll get to him. Dabba-Kato. Keep him on NXT, have him dominate. I'm totally fine with that. And Cedric. I do believe Cedric can work on NXT. And I'm just going to put this caveat out there. Cedric remains on NXT until you bring Big Swole, or Big Swole comes to NXT, and then you call him up as a couple to the main roster. I do believe Big Swole should come to WWE. Yeah, Von Wagner, he's so boring, noob. I cannot with him. Thanks for joining the stream, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Hit like if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already joined this great channel. There's the other one. Bye, Gallus. You bother me. All right, we need some excitement. I do believe they are going to excite Friday nights the best. That is SmackDown, right? KC Squared. Get some women's actual tag teams on there. They're going to be great on SmackDown. They'll be great for kids and everyone else watching on SmackDown. So I do believe that's the place to go for them. Mustafa Ali, he's really good. I don't want to put him in NXT. I want to keep him on Monday Night Raw because you can do stuff with him, and he kind of does stuff that, not to say political, but he does stuff that could potentially rub people the wrong way. So I wouldn't put him on network television because I think there's more that he can do. And storytelling-wise, the stuff that he does on Twitter and on his own, very, very good. He's a very smart person. All right, the tag champs, I'm just going to leave down here because I don't really know where to put them. Natty is such a... She was in NXT for a bit. I guess just give her a refresh on Raw. She gets shuffled around every year, so I just really don't know where to put her. She's solid in whatever she does, but I don't know. Piper Niven, I think she can work very well on SmackDown as well. She can move. She's a great worker. And hopefully Vince doesn't really touch SmackDown that well because her stuff got cut this Monday unfairly, along with someone else's, Candice LeRae. And we know we put couples together. So Johnny Gargano, who is dealing with an injury on SmackDown, I think can work very well with a SmackDown crowd. Again, it is more family friendly. Is more family friendly than the Raw crowd a little bit too. Again, it's not on cable, not like it's a a big deal breaker for families, but I think they'll work really well on Fox. All right, Tegan Knox. Do not put her back in NXT. You give her one last chance here. Not going to release her yet or give her the performance center. Put her on Monday Night Raw. If she can do some stuff, especially in that new third hour, that's going to be a little more edgy. Let Tegan Knox shine. Kind of give her some matches and work well with her character on who she is, because I don't really know who Tegan Knox is. One person I do know who she is. She's built an audience on Smackdown, and I say keep her on Smackdown. She has built a core audience. She is kind of a newer face, even though she's been on the main roster for a bit. You can make Shotzi a huge star. She's got everything. You just need to book her right. I think SmackDown is the way to do it. She works as a heel and a face. Figure out one, dive deep into that, and there you go. I would almost make her a heel if you're not going to sell little tanks and merch. Make her a heel. Then whoever takes the belt off, Rhea, she can take the belt off of. Yeah, LA Knight, he's built a following on SmackDown, but it doesn't matter. He is a little bit up there in age, so I say you put him on Monday Night Raw because you can get him on that track to the World Heavyweight Championship, so he's not wasting time doing feuds or jobbing to Roman. He could even be the one to win it, or I see he could be the Money in the Bank winner this year. Yeah. Liv. They are tag champs. I'm going to leave her and Raquel on SmackDown. They are the tag champs. They do work very well on SmackDown and do get a decent ovation and have built a little bit of following on SmackDown, so I wouldn't really move them quite yet. There's Raquel. They work well as a tag team, and I can see them having a good feud with KC Squared. Bro. He's kind of on probation, but he's in a major storyline. But he's in a major storyline that he can be taken out of very easily. Keep him on Monday Night Raw. This way, if there is any things that circulate, it's not on as a huge advertising stream that is Fox. You can kind of mess around with him on Raw, especially if you're going to do an edgier third hour. Weed is legal pretty much everywhere in the U.S. except for, well, I guess maybe half the U.S. So you can still work Blue with Matt Riddle if you need to. Keep him on Monday Night Raw. He's got a good following on there. And again, you can take him out of the bloodline like that. All right, Boogs. I hate Boogs. I hate Boogs so much. I know a lot of you like Boogs. I just can't get with Boogs. Let me know in the comments where you think Boogs should go. Keep him on Monday Night Raw with Elias, I guess, because you need time to do stuff. Keep him away from Shinsuke, who we got on Monday Night Raw now, too. You don't need to have those two interact. Maybe a passing in the hallway. But Elias... geez, I really... You know what? Screw that. Put Elias on SmackDown. Have him do song and dance. It can be crowd-pleasing to families, too, especially when he does the good hot heat with the hometown sports team. So... there we go. Let's split them up. And then you know what? You can have a match later down the line if it's a Survivor Series or whatever. You can have them do a guitar off or something fun like that. That's what I want. Just like how you keep Grayson Waller and The Miz away until their big match. Braun Strowman suffering from a concussion that he got on SmackDown. Keep him on SmackDown until you know you're going to push him into a title feud. The kids love him. Families love him. He's a big attraction, just like Omos. And there's your match, Braun and Omos again. You can have later on down the line. All right. Roxanne Perez. I think if you're keeping Cora Jade in NXT, you call Roxanne Perez up and bring her on SmackDown. I think she's a good fit for SmackDown. I didn't even touch on here, but we got to put her, Zelina, with the rest of the LWO. She's so fantastic. She will be facing Rhea Ripley for the championship at Backlash. I do not think she's going to lose or win. So I do believe she can just stick with the LWO on Monday Night Raw. I think she's going to be a great addition, especially if they use her more and use her on commentary more. She's so good on commentary. All right, Randy Orton, whenever, if ever he comes back, he just works best on Monday Night Raw. He just does. He's great on SmackDown, especially when SmackDown was good with Daniel Bryan. He worked really well in there with Bray and some other characters. And speaking of Bray, if he comes back, put him on Monday Night Raw too, because if you are doing more of an edgier third hour, you can do stuff on him, but Bray has to wrestle. Bray has to wrestle. You cannot just do these creepy things and stuff like that. He needs to wrestle. And I thought I saw him on here. Maybe he's on a different one. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, you can keep with him as well. But speaking of edgier and someone, there's some news for you. Zoe Stark. I do believe she's getting called up. She'd be a great addition as a heel on the Monday Night roster. I think she'd be fun against Big Time Bex. I think she'd be a good opponent for anyone to keep her out of the title scene for a bit, though. Don't do these call-ups and give them title shots, because that's kind of dangerous to do, because it kind of diminish who they are. And then if they can't win the title, they just kind of get down, because there's no mid-card title for the women to chase after. So storylines, people, we need to write storylines. All right. Xia Li, Performance Center. One last chance. Take her off SmackDown. She's not really working. Put her on the Performance Center. One last chance, and then bring her somewhere later on this year. All right, Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, where are we putting her? We are going to keep her on Monday Night Raw. I do believe at some point her old faction from NXT will come back. I forgot the dude's name already, but he's an Impact. Knock, if you're here. But he's still signed. He hasn't been on TV since he signed back with WWE and left Impact. I do believe their faction could be big on Monday Night Raw. It'd be a nice feud with the LWO. Chase U. A lot of good stuff on there that you can do. Sonya Deville. I don't know where Sonya Deville is right now, but I keep her on SmackDown. She's great for TV. She's really good for TV, and she knows how to play that crowd really well. All right. I forgot her name. She's the live streamer. I cannot remember her name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but the live streamer keeping NXT. She hasn't been on for a little bit. Keep her on there. Let us know her a little bit more and see her ring work and see where she fits in. But keep her on NXT since she's there. And Hit Row. If we're doing an edgier third hour, move Hit Row on there. See if they don't need to be Max Caster. They 100% don't need to be Max Caster. This is Adonis, right? Looks like Adonis. Hit Row. Is there B-Fab on here? They did not put B-Fab on here. There is no B-Fab, but B-Fab with Hit Row. If you keep an edgier third hour, I think you can make Hit Row work a little bit more. A soft PG Hit Row, it doesn't sit well. Again, they don't need to be the acclaimed Ray. Since I kind of already said that they could work a feud with Judgment Day and Ray down the line, let me know in the comments if you think Ray should go to SmackDown or Raw and be with the LWO. I do believe next year they could do a retirement match for the mask. You could do Ray versus Dom next year's WrestleMania. Let me know what you think on there. Fat Laces. See, Shayna's still undrafted. She does have stock. She's just injured. Eric Young. Thank you, Fat Laces. Eric Young is still under contract. And you think Eric Young, Killian Dane should feud with Viking Raiders. I like that. I like that so much. We'll move Nikki Cross down there. Viking Raiders. Eric Young, Killian Dane. They can all come back and do that. I know Killian Dane is in another company right now, but I think it's short term. All right. If anyone knows who this is right here, this isn't B Priestley, is it? I can't remember her name. If anyone can think of what her name is, let me know. I think she should stick around in NXT. I know she's on for like a cup of coffee, and they haven't really showed her yet. But Ziggles was in NXT. Keep him on Monday Night Raw. Here's why. He works with just about anyone. He's going to be on the upcoming Family Feud with WWE. He does a lot of stand-up. He was just here in LA the week after WrestleMania, hitting up multiple stops for improv and comedy. So being on Monday night gives him the rest of the week and the weekend to do whatever he wants. I think that's why he's happy. So keep him on Monday Night Raw. He puts on very good matches still, especially when Triple H books him. You're talking about her, and I think Fox likes her on there. She has stock, and that's because mainly right now, two injured people, Baszler and Ronda. They are going to get those tag team championships. They will eventually. It's just a matter of healing up. So, live in Raquel, enjoy him while you got him. Tyler Bate, I do believe he's going to get called up as well. I think if he's on SmackDown, he's going to be a little goofy. But I think if you put him on Raw, he can work and have his own segments. You just got to watch it, and you got to book him right, because that's what we thought of Gargano, and he hasn't really got the big pops on the main roster either. Where should Logan Paul go? And you want Brock on SmackDown? Yeah, keep Brock on SmackDown. Forgot Ron down there. Please the Fox crowd. I like that. Brock in NXT. I challenge everyone tonight. Brock on SmackDown, I like that. And Logan Paul is going to go onto Monday Night Raw. I do believe, again, it is someone that they can build or at least tease to have the new World Heavyweight Championship belt. All right, we're getting down here. Dexter Lumis. You know where you put Dexter Lumis? Wherever Indy is. That's where they work best together. Dexter Lumis, put him back in NXT, and when they get called up, call them back up, and then you can even have them join The Way. The Way is very entertaining, but we all know what we really want to see. Tommaso Ciampa joining Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, and DIY. Well, they're there together. Dang it. We'll just move these two. No, we won't. I can't put them together. They don't want to be together. But they're together, damn it. DIY will come back, and there'll be a nice challenge for Sami Zayn and KO if they're back in time. Otherwise, down the line, great addition to the tag team scene. Fallies, this is Cameron Grimes solo or in a tag team if he gets moved to the main. I think solo, that's where I got him. I do believe I put him on SmackDown because he's good, he's entertaining, but he has leaned down. This dude is fucking cut. I have him on SmackDown right here, but he can still do the Cameron Grimes thing, and you can turn him serious down the line. He's taking his call up very seriously, and I think he knew it was coming. All right, Tiffany Stratton. I do believe she can get called up, but I think you keep her in NXT for the feud. I think she can take the title off of anyone at any time, and she might be next, in my opinion. You can build a lot around Tiffany Stratton. Keep her in NXT. Alexa Bliss. Let's just flesh out the damn thing, see where it goes. Put Bliss in the same thing with Howdy and Bray Wyatt, and just you either end it and you make her like confront Bray Wyatt, or you lean in and you have the Wyatt 6 and you just do it. You pull the trigger on it. Let's see where the storyline's supposed to go, and then get back to Bray wrestling. Man, Bray needs to wrestle again. Edge. He's a Monday Night Raw guy, in my opinion. Again, you can do a tease where he does something for the World Heavyweight Championship, but I do believe this is going to be his last year, and you got Randy Orton there, which would make a great pairing with him, especially if you do a send-off match. This is Beth Phoenix, right? I'm going to say this is Beth Phoenix if I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't Beth Phoenix. I don't know who this is. Let's pretend this is Beth Phoenix. You ever have action figures? Pretend they're other action figures because you can't afford the other ones. Oh, is that Lacey Evans? Okay, that's Lacey Evans. All right, here's the deal. I don't know what to do with Lacey Evans anymore. I don't know how many times you can try with Lacey Evans. I really don't know. NXT, Timmy Stratton was booked to win. Yeah, they changed it on the fly. You can build the epiphanies with Tiffany up a little bit more. This is Lacey Evans. I don't know how many times you can try with her. I'm sorry. I know there's something there. But after 6 times, have fun losing to Jade Cargill on Rampage, Lacey Evans. By the way, tomorrow, 2:30 Pacific time, and you can figure it out from there, whatever time zone you are, but we'll be doing it live, Rampage tomorrow. We're putting the show together tonight. If there's anything you want, I know Noob's got something I'm going to put in there. If there's anything you want, hit me up on here. All right, it's a new day. Yes, it is. The new day works anywhere. But here's the deal. What's the deal with airline peanuts? Big E is rumored to be back in the draft as soon as tomorrow night. He is another one that can be in that World Heavyweight Champion picture. Actually, all of them can. I'd actually love to see Xavier in there. But also one that can help knock off Gunther and the IC title reign that is going on right now. And also, you have the feud that you wanted anyways leading up to WrestleMania. New Day and Imperium. Xavier, which is so good. There we go. New Day. You can have that feud with Imperium. It is going to be awesome. Monday Night Raw is a great spot to showcase it because you can have all these random individual matches. Of course, 9,000 different versions of tag matches. But you know what? There's going to be a 4th member of Imperium. And that is Dragunov. I do believe he can get called up and be the next member of Imperium. I think he works. All right, we're getting pretty full right here. Veer is coming. I don't think so. He got called back down to NXT. He didn't work. I think it's time to let Veer go. Veer is going, in my opinion. Bye, Veer. But this guy, Sangha. Keep Sangha in NXT. He works very well. He did this nice, lovable character kind of thing. But you can also placate the whole the evil thing with Jinder Mahal. Keep these two paired together. And you know what? Put these two together as a tag team. I'm sorry, Veer just didn't work for me. But these two, they work. You can put them on a main roster too. I don't want to relegate Jinder to NXT again. But all right, we're getting down there. Some of these, a couple of these we're not going to touch. There he is. Austin Theory, A-Town Down, the IC title going to Raw. I do believe Austin Theory, who has done a lot of good on Monday Night Raw, will be going to SmackDown. His stuff with Bobby and Bronson was great. He can continue another week, but I do believe this title and this character works very well on a SmackDown setting. Dragon Lee. Oh, Dragon Lee. Let's shake it up. Where's Ray? Ray is on SmackDown. Dragon Lee is on SmackDown. This way, Ray doesn't have to be with the LWO exactly, but he can also be with Dragon Lee. And if they get into a feud with Judgment Day down the line, it is a great person to pass the torch to, and he can do a nice feud at SummerSlam if this is Ray's last year and Ray goes into retirement after facing Dom for the mask. All right, only a few left here. We're not doing too bad. We got 2 tag teams. Robert Roode is still injured, so I'm not going to put him anywhere, and Mako isn't really on WWE TV too much, really. So I'm going to leave her where they are. The tag champs, look, they're going to float. We'll just keep them on SmackDown. My only caveat with these two, build them up for something other than the Bloodline. They are going to fight the Bloodline again for the titles in a WrestleMania rematch this Friday. And I do believe that should end it. And then the Bloodline gets split up. I do not need the Bloodline to bookend 2 shows every week. We need to stop that and start building other stars. The draft is supposedly Triple H's clean slate. So we'll see if that comes to fruition after this. Ridge Holland. Again, I think the Brawling Brutes are going to be separate. but I do believe you can put him on the same show as Sheamus, and you can do like a storyline where they kind of break off. If you have Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland on the same show, I don't think it's going to be as smooth as having Ridge Holland and Sheamus pass in the hallways. Last ones, Chelsea Green. She works so well on SmackDown. I think she can go anywhere. She's so good. She works unbelievably well with her character work. She works very well with Sonya. I think those two could have a good feud on SmackDown, but we haven't even seen what she does in Impact. We haven't seen like the Crazy Bride stuff. There's a lot of different avenues to take her down. If you want to go a little more edgy with her, you can put her on Monday Night Raw, but I think she's working very well on SmackDown. And just like Bronson Reed on Raw, you just kind of put her on a show. Don't put her on another show when you're building that core audience up for them. Yeah, we'll just keep her in NXT. It's a good call, Noob. It's an easy transition, and it's a good way to build the younger talent up. A lot of the main roster talent doesn't need it, but you can also bring them down to NXT for a match with her, and it's a special occasion. Good call, Noob. Chelsea Green, a free agent. I like that 100%. I like that. She pops in on random shows, even NXT, maybe until Matt Cardona shows up. I like that. Or keep her where she is just because there's no free agent part right there. But I like it. Nice job, Noob. It is time. Robert Roode. I'll just put him on SmackDown. Just to put him somewhere. He can work anywhere, but we have no idea when he's coming back. One of the biggest things people have been talking about, other than splitting up the New Day, which I don't really think they should do, the Street Profits, they've done pretty much everything that they can. They've captured gold on both brands. It is time to pull the trigger and break them up. This way, you do not have them feuding with each other. You do not have a Marty Jannetty situation. You do not have anyone going through a barbershop window. It is a clean break. And here's the deal. Angelo Dawkins to Monday Night Raw. That's right. Angelo Dawkins to Monday Night Raw. You can have him work with a lot of really good people on here and hold his own. But Zach, they always put couples together. Well, check this out. That's the thing. That's where the character work comes in. Montez Ford is so good. But this is the story. You go from partying solo cup Montez Ford to, wait a minute, my best friend and my girl are on Monday Night Raw, and now I'm on this new show. You go down to basics with him. He's more, I don't want to say edgy. He's just more of a raw, real character. And this is a build to someone who can be a main champion down the line. He can easily beat... Not easily. I don't want to take anything away from Austin Theory. But he's someone who can take that mid-card title off Austin Theory. He can give the rub to someone else, take that title and give that to them. And then later on down the line, I don't think he's the one to beat Roman Reigns, but I think he's someone who can beat the one who beats Roman Reigns and become whatever champion remains on SmackDown. And I do believe a raw, grittier version rather than the happy-go-lucky Montez Ford is going to put him into another stratosphere. I know he's got the chops for it. He's got the physique. He's got the moves. And he's got probably one of the best frog splashes of all time next to Eddie and RVD. Montez. That's the big move, the SmackDown move. That is the long play. And that is the draft. It starts tomorrow. Let me know what you think of the tier list. Let me know in the comments where you would put people. But that is what I have right there. If you want to take another look at it. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the network, please do. The channel, the station, whatever it's called. We love our community. Great people in the chats. Always, thank you. And of course, tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, after lunch, before dinner, wherever you are, Rampage live stream. We're going to have some fun stuff. We're going to talk about some of the longest title reigns in wrestling that sucked. We're hitting that up. This is where I have everyone. And again, the Royal Rumble, you can mix and match and do call-ups with NXT. You can always do that then. And I'm sorry, people that are getting released. It's just time. All right, let me know in the comments what you think. Just like this, Yeah, Montez isn't the one to beat Roman. He's the one to beat the person who beats Roman. Since Shane O'Mac, you know, the CEO Eric is in the chats. I didn't know you had. Well, of course you have Wi-Fi on your G7 jet, whatever it's called. I don't know. I fly with the luggage and the dogs. That's how cheap I am. Shane O'Mac is training again. If you want to look at the pictures and the videos, you can watch him break his bones and tear his quads and cry. And Shane O'Mac's not coming anywhere near our new Triple H era WWE. So that's that. Shane O'Mac clearly not on here because he sucks. He absolutely sucks. Just like there's no John Cena, which you can watch Eric play Guitar Hero to his theme song on YouTube right here on our channel. That went up today. Bleh. Nice job, by the way. He got 100 on there. Otherwise, hey, you know the deal. 4 p.m. Pacific time Sundays. Me, Knock, Eric, we are together. We do the live show. Friday night Rampage, Friday afternoon tomorrow, 2:30 Pacific time. Hit us up. You got our socials down below if you want to talk to us, and leave comments after this live stream because we do comment back. Love you. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow for Rampage, and be excellent to each other. Take care, everyone.